final tool that we're going to look at within the Successful Drumming package is called the Connected Drummer. Now this gives you unique ways that you can get connected to either the drum community or the music community. You need to feel like you're not on an island learning the drums all by yourself. There is a whole community of people out there that you can learn together with. So what I've done is I've put together 10 ways that you can become connected as a drummer. The first way you can get connected, and this is the way I think I got really well connected in my local music scene, is simply to say yes to every gig. Now, at first you're probably thinking, oh, but I don't want to play that music, or I don't really like that music. Well, it doesn't matter. You're just starting out, so take the gig. If someone's asking you to play, take the gig, because you might not like that certain style of music, you might not like the venue or the drum set there or something like that, but you might find that the bass player you end up playing with is a really solid bass player and a really good person. So you might become friends with them, and that might lead to more gigs. So right away, it's the opportunity to make connections, and that puts you in the right place where you can actually make those connections. Think about it. Whether you're at home or in your garage practicing, or whether you're at the gig with other musicians and with people watching you play, which is better? It's better that you're at the gig. Eventually you'll get to the point where you don't need to say yes to every single gig anymore, but you can be a little bit more selective. But at the beginning, it's important that you say yes. The second thing you can do to get connected is simply place classified ads. We have an unlimited amount of information, and we have the ability to connect with drummers through technology like we have never had before. So you can connect with different drummers, or you can connect with different musicians. So simply place a classified ad, whether that be in a newspaper or whether that be in an online directory. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're putting yourself out there, you're waving your hand, you're saying, guys, I'm here and I really want to play drums. So if you need a drummer, I'm here and here's what I can offer you. That's what's most important. And you'd be surprised, like even if you get one inquiry per year, it's still great that you did it. You built that connection that you would have not had otherwise. The third connection you can make is at your local music store. Hopefully your local music store employs people who are easy to talk with and who actually care about the customer. I know when I was first starting playing drums, I went to my local music store and the guys there weren't very nice. And so it wasn't very motivating to go back. And since then, I think brick and mortar stores have really been realizing that they need to have some personality behind the counter. It can't be just a button pusher and an order grabber. This person has to, number one, be knowledgeable of the products, and number two, be personable. So go there and chat with them. Ask them how long they've been working there and figure out a little bit about them and just get to know them. So next time you go in, you've established that connection. Then they might ask you a question like, hey, what type of drums do you play, or what type of style are you into? And then you can go ahead and talk more and get into a deeper conversation, which will then hopefully lead to some more gigs or some more opportunities within the music industry. The fourth way to get connected is through a Drumeo Edge membership. Now, I know I'm being very biased because I'm a huge part of Drumeo and I think it's an absolutely amazing service. But from what I've seen there, it's a place where drummers get connected who are at the same level, who are very like-minded. And I've seen people through our community just kind of get set up to become practice partners online. To say, here's what I'm doing, here's what you're doing. They get together and they practice on the pad through video chat and stuff like that. And a lot of times people will figure out who's in the same area and then kind of have meetups and stuff like that. So through the Drumeo Edge membership, number one, you get a huge resource of lessons and you get access to some of the top professional teachers in the world, but you also get access to what I believe the top drum community in the world. It's an awesome place to hang out as a drummer, and I know you would absolutely love it. The fifth thing you can do is to find a local jam night. Just like they have open mic nights at places, they also have jam nights. And a lot of these places, they might be a lower end pub or something like that where they can't afford to hire a full band, so they call it a jam night and hope people will just come and play. But that's fine. It's a great outlet for you to get experience and get connected with other musicians. You never know. If a really, really solid musician has a night off from gigging, they might go to that jam night and hang out with their buddies and get to see you playing drums and be like, wow, that drummer's really good. I'm going to ask them to play for this paid gig or this higher level gig. So it's just another way that you can easily get connected, and it doesn't cost you anything. You get to go out and have a good time. The sixth thing that you can do is go to local drum clinics. Now, drum clinics are a great place for drummers to hang out and get to know other drummers because not a lot of guitar players or bass players or other musicians go to see drum clinics. So basically when you go there, you're seeing a room full of drummers. Now, they might not all be drummers, but I guarantee you most of them are. Just look around at the drum clinic and you're going to see everyone tapping their foot or bobbing their head. Everyone's going to have some sort of rhythm in their blood. So go ahead and go to the clinic, watch the drummer, and then really look around and see if there's anyone that you can connect with. You might see a guy at a merch booth that you can talk to. You might see someone that you used to know from school or from work that you can talk to that you didn't know was into this sort of thing, and now you have established that connection that you didn't have before. You'll also see some famous drummers going to drum clinics. You know, drummers like to be around other drummers. That's the beauty of the drum community. It's very different than any of the other communities I've ever seen. You know, different than the guitar, bass, or piano community. Drummers are very, very community-oriented. We like to hang out with each other, and we like to share information and chat about our passions. The eighth thing you can do to get connected is start a local drum circle. This is something I did when I first started teaching drums, is I invited all my drum students over, and we just kind of jammed out together. Now, you could also post a classified ad and say, drum circle at 9 p.m. at this park. And you could all go meet at the park with a djembe or congas or tambourines or whatever. Just sit in a circle, chat with people, and really get connected. You'd be surprised at the people you'll meet in those types of places. It might not even be the people in the drum circle that you get along with best. It might be other people kind of coming in just to watch and see that, hey, man, that guy really can play percussion really good. Maybe I'm going to go chat with him and ask him to play for my gig coming up. And so there you go, you've established another connection through putting yourself at the right place at the right time. The ninth thing you can do is play drums in a church. Now, this is something I got started in when I was first playing drums, and it really helped me gain the experience of, number one, playing in front of people, and number two, actually interacting with other musicians. It also helped me get connected with a bunch of people that really inspired me and helped me to become a better drummer. Because I was just starting out at the time, and so I needed some outlet and somewhere where I could actually play. And my church was kind enough to allow me to play, and hopefully I didn't, make everyone plug their ears, but it was a really, really good experience, and I highly recommend it if that's your thing. The 10th and final thing you can do is to start teaching drums. Now, even if you've only been playing drums for a year or 2 years, I guarantee you have something that you can show someone else. Every day, people decide, I want to start playing drums. So every day, people are in need of a teacher. And just because you don't have this super large amount of experience doesn't mean that you can't show someone something on the drums. It doesn't mean that you can't inspire someone to actually play the drums. So it's not for everyone, but I definitely recommend you do this because it's something that can really get you connected. You get one student, and that student might know someone else who wants to take lessons, and you get 2 students, and then all of a sudden, through the pipeline, people might find out that you're a drummer, one of their parents or one of their cousins, and then they ask you to play drums for a gig. And that's the way it goes in the music industry. Word of mouth is, and I believe will always be, the strongest way to market and advertise yourself as a drummer. So here's what I want you to do to get better connected as a drummer. I've put together a little worksheet in the workbook of Successful Drumming. And I want you to basically list 5 things you can do to get connected. Now, you can choose one of the 10 examples I gave, but try and be a little bit more specific. So let's say you wanted to start teaching drums. Say you're going to get 1 drum student. Okay, on the second column, you're going to say, what is the ideal result of you getting 1 drum student? Well, the ideal result is that you're going to get better connected and hopefully you'll get another student. And then in the final column, you need to say, what is the first action that you're going to take in order to make this happen? And so there you would put something like post a classified ad or call someone you know who's looking for lessons. So once you've done that, we're going to close out the Successful Drumming product. You can go ahead and move on to the conclusion of this package.